I might title this video, Don't Doubt Yourself, or something along those lines. I want to go into detail based on, why it lasted this long. And I want to like do a bit of self-reflection, because I'm kind of used to isolation now, like self-isolation. So I'm kind of used to it, and I kind of feel like when I brainstorm ideas, or I come to the conclusion, I always find it works and helps when I'm kind of to myself. I could kind of be in my own safe space, or in my creative environment, and I can come to an understanding. So I think when I sorry when I think of doubt, I think of it being used in a sense of, like, people want to doubt themselves. And I think I have to be really quick and fast right now, because I want to get through this video, and I don't want to go down through too many paths, right? I don't want to go down any shortcuts. I just want to say it as it is, and then I just want to leave it there. When I've played, or like I've played beats and I've spat bars over them, and I've listened to them back. I've gone into detail, because this is the thing. Like, sometimes I'm not even aware of what I say out loud. I'm not even aware of, like, what I'm spitting. Like, yes, like I'm saying it, but like I'm saying it like I don't remember it afterwards. So I have to really like record myself to really be like, oh my god, that was sick. Yeah, I'm uploading this to the channel, right? And there have been a handful of times when I just uploaded something, and I've got to go through and take it back, put it in the lab, and compress it or edit it, or something like that, right? So the purpose for me here, making this video, is to touch on never to doubt yourself. Don't ever feel that you can't make it, or that you're not capable. I recently bumped into one of my friends' guns, and I made I wouldn't necessarily, like, I made amendments with him, but like I made like I'll say this. I was walking next to him, and we were walking around town together, and we were like having a deep conversation about something. And what I respect about this guy, Guns, and he's somebody that I know personally. I respect him, and I've been able to send him verses, and we've like worked on a couple of collabs together. One of my favorite things is that he understands the world and the universe and the law of attraction, affirmations, manifesting better times, quality people, just those sort of vibes. And this kind of fits perfectly into the point I'm trying to make. From the 8th of December 2017, when I was brought out of somewhere that I was training, and it was like a place of zen for me. It was like a nice place for me to go to train, and things happened. I went around, and I used to do that thing where I paced myself back and forth, because this was December, January, February, before I made the channel. And, I'm not trying to say, like, I doubted myself, but, like, I doubted that I would train somewhere else, that I would find work afterwards, or that I would work anywhere else, or have had the opportunity to work multiple jobs. And that was the thing where I made these videos, or I started touching on certain things. I started to really look at certain people, specific things that they did, and I started to break down the culture a little bit better. And I started to understand, and I got the opportunity to, master Mortal Kombat, or play a bit of Batman Arkham, or, because I played Tekken and Street Fighter 2. So, I'm not saying the number, I'm just saying, like, I played those games, and I don't ever want to go back to that life yet. I just want to focus on the narrative and, this video, right? I want to make that my main concentration. So the purpose I'm trying to make here is that doubt kills. It kills ambition. It kills being motivated, being disciplined. Just basically, if a man is driven by something in life, and he is, he's doubting himself, it won't ever happen. And I think the purpose of my freestyles, or my recordings, or anything, anything along those lines, is I can do discussions, but I prefer doing freestyles. I prefer doing heartfelt pain relief rap songs, mainly due to the fact that it was always the power of the mind. I was just better at it, right? Because I could go now like mad. I would never spit that bar today, and mainly due to the fact that I'm just evolving as a character, as a person, right? So I'm spitting better bars, but I'm still stuck in an environment where I feel stuck and trapped and miserable and sad because the you know, like for me personally, it's like I'm not doing anything that's benefiting my soul. I'm not doing something that makes me happy. I'm not moving with people I want to. I'm not doing, and people go, you're selfish then. But like I'm saying, like I was always a family member kind of guy, or you know, I was always like a friends kind of guy, or I was always the kind of guy that had responsibilities to what he did. And when you kind of do something for a very long time and you lose it, you start to lose yourself, and that is the power of doubt. So I think playing the character, playing the beats and spitting bars as this character, this iconic character that I've played since 2017 to 2024, you know, and it's still the year, right? I don't know if I want to go next year and bring him back. I think the way forward now is to just hold on to what I've done and make it more, and just replay it, and just, you know, understand from my perspective, from my point of view, like what I went through, and to tell myself that I don't give a fuck, like I ain't going through that again. And my favorite thing I like to say is the law of attraction is real, because when I started to do Fire Walker, and I started to do more of those classes, I started to understand that, my goodness, it's real. Like I'm saying this, like when I did it, I just did it as like a challenge. I just did it to challenge myself, to better myself, to believe in myself. And then and now I look back at, like, you know, what if I really was the law of attraction back then? What if I told myself that, you know what, I can do this? And that's the power of, you know, manifestation. It's the power of being ambitious, even. You know, you're not doubting yourself, you're just believing in yourself, you're just working up to a level. And the people around you don't, because they don't see you with money, they don't see you with friends, they don't see you being sociable, they just see you doing nothing. And when I go to Manjinda or Yusuf, guys that I've known personally in my life, or I go to Adam or Tyrese or even Josh, you know, I've had the ability and, you know, the opportunity in front of me to know more of these men, right? And I want to hold it down. I want to hold it down for, like, you know, it helped me. And I want to come on here and thank them personally, because, you know, they didn't have to be my friend. They didn't have to put up with me. They didn't have to socialize with me. But the fact that they did, and they, you know, cared enough, I want to say that I respect them, and I always had, you know, respect for them in my heart, right? Because I moved with true intentions. And now I'm starting to understand that. I'm starting to understand this very concept of being the law of attraction. I've made these freestyles, and there's a lot of it in there. It's when you start to tell yourself you'll never go back there, you'll never settle for anything less, you'll never work for the bare minimum. If I went and told myself I want to be around you, or I want to get to know you, there is no one on this earth that would stop me. And people know this. People know that I'm the kind of guy they can take seriously. I'm not going to give them a persona or a person that they can just pull up on and be like, nah, I can't take him seriously, because they can, right? They can. So I think that plays a massive factor into why I do what I do, and why I move the way I move. And I'm done with this narrative now, right? I mean, I know when I was spitting bars, I held on to Wolverhampton, right? But now that I quit Wolverhampton, is there any need for me to keep making these freestyles? Is there any need for me to keep the narrative alive? If I stay here, then it carries on, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. But in a sense, it's like, it's making me sad, it's making me sick. It's like, it makes me want to throw up, because it's like there's more for me out there in the world, you know? And I never wanted to settle for less. I never wanted to work for the bare minimum. I never wanted to, you know, bring people down. I never wanted to be perceived as the type of guy that wanted to lean on other people in a negative sense. I just wanted to go somewhere where my presence was valued and I was acknowledged and respected. When I say acknowledged, I mean people could go, raw, what you man saying? Like Josh in Juniper, right? Or Tyrese in Fire Walker, or Adam from Warfront. Yeah, Warfront. But like, to a lot of these facilities, they fulfilled their obligation, and they had no obligation to keep me, and they did. And it's further evidence that when I look back and I look at it the way I do, maybe I kind of agree here when I say, and I think a lot of people will, is I don't see myself as the type of guy that doubted himself. I don't see myself as the type of guy that fell off. I see, let me be completely honest now. I see myself, and I'll be completely honest, I see myself as a guy that can make a lot of money. I see myself as the type of guy that can be around better people and could do better things. But that'll only happen if I make that happen. And I always go back to the power of the mind. That's where the freestyles come in. That's where the discussions comes in. If you start speaking confidently, or you start saying things to yourself like, it's like escalators. If they're not going up, then they're going down, and it escalated to a bad place. That could be a conversation. That could be the purpose of why they do what they do. That could be levels. I think that I've always been at the bottom, and I think that I've always worked my way up to the very top. And this is the equivalent of this analogy because it's self-doubt, right? I never doubted myself, but a lot of people do. A lot of people doubt me. A lot of people don't believe in me. A lot of people don't take me seriously. And that's why I need to take this risk. I need to take this leap. When I said that on the freestyle, I had to go into detail, and I have to now. The whole purpose of the escalator bar, or the conversations, or, things escalating to a bad place, right? It consists of like you having a conversation with someone, or you being somewhere and it just not going anywhere. If it's going up, well done, fantastico, perfecto. Or and if it's not, then it's you're going back to you go back to square one, right? You go back to basics, and you're just going round and round and round and round and round and round and round in circles. So I think where I'm concerned, I don't ever want to go through that again. I don't ever, and like I said, like 2017 to 2024 is a long time. I'm never gonna quit being Dino. I'm not, listen, I'm not ending the freestyles. I still want to spit bars. I still want to listen and jam to the genre of rap, the genre of music, right? I'm not saying that I'm done. I'm done with this particular narrative. I'm done with Wolverhampton now.